I'm very happy to be here, to be able to address you with some information. My name is P.O. Foss. I didn't understand the introduction, but I guess he told you. I'm working within marine security, and in Equinor we have divided between marine and maritime. So maritime security, they are also focusing upon the Houthis in the Red Sea and so on, but marine security is infrastructure, the subsea infrastructure security. So I have been given 20 minutes. Hopefully I will be able to give you some information. Just starting with our footprint, Equinor's footprint in Poland. You can see the Baltic Pipe. The Baltic Pipe was officially opened the day after the explosion of the Nord Stream. In addition, we are also maturing offshore wind pipeline in Poland with the Baltic 2, 3, and 1. And we have also onshore renewables as given on the map, and also some off-take of energy. But my focus area is the Norwegian continental shelf. And just very shortly showing you where we are operating. 50 fields in operation, 40 offshore platforms, a total of 22,000 kilometers of cables and pipelines. And when it comes to the gas export, you can see on the blue picture, that's all our gas export pipelines. We exported with the operator, the Gasco, which is operator. We exported 117 billion cubic meters, which is about 30% of Europe's consumption. And Equinor is the technical service provider for Gasco, so we are in close cooperation. I'm going to tell you a little bit what we are doing. Already mentioned the Nord Stream incident. For us, it was a major eye-opener because it showed us that someone had both the capability and the intent of attacking subsea infrastructure. So after that explosion, we immediately started with security inspections of all our export pipelines. One vessel out there within days, and the next two just following in, and we had a lot of activity for the rest of 2022. In addition, when it hit us, we of course are very close to Gasco. We established close cooperation with the Norwegian armed forces. We got a liaison officer from the Navy into our offices in Equinor. We had a close cooperation with the intelligence services, both the civilian and military intelligence services in Norway, and also with NATO. We also involved all our international peers and operators at the Norwegian continental shelf, because we do not compete within security. We do not compete within safety, and we do not compete within security. We work together on security. So what did we learn? First of all, we made these security inspections in order to reduce Europe's concern for secure energy deliveries. At the same time, we were able to establish a timestamp situational picture. I'll show you some picture on the next slide. We did not find, and we did not expect to find, any indication of hostile acts. Inspected around 7,000 kilometers, but also very important, strengthened collaboration and coordination between the authorities, both on civilian and military side, and the civilian industry, both nationally and internationally. And we started, and there's still a lot of ongoing initiatives also to further develop regulatory frameworks. This is a picture of something we found in 2022. You can see the packet on the left side. You can also on the right side see that we in 2020 did our periodic inspections and did not find anything. And in 2022, suddenly we found a packet which looked like it was been put under our pipeline. You can see the pipeline in orange. But so German forces went down there as soon as possible, checked it out, and it was debris. It was innocent, but it has been just been moved along the seabed, and then hitting the pipeline, and due to the current, just moving a little bit and getting under the pipeline. But previously, when we did inspections, we did not stop on these objects. But now we needed to think, okay, has someone put this down in order to harm us? This is another example. Looks like a limpet being put directly to our pipeline. But going back to our picture for 2018, we could see it was an innocent kind of cover just laying there. Also going to mention very briefly some overall principles. The Norwegian total defense concept, where that's a collective term for the military defense and civil preparedness, mutual support and cooperation. It goes down to all organizations, also down to all individuals in Norway. We also have the Norwegian Security Act, where Norwegian government define what is important for Norway, fundamental security interests. They list up critical and important infrastructure. 2022, before the war in Ukraine, Equinor and Gassco were put under the Security Act. So we, of course, need to do something when it comes to security work, risk assessments, security measures. But the most important thing for me is the last point. We have access to classified information from our intelligence services. And a few words on this one as well, because this is fundamental in our discussion. You see the gray arrow. On the top of the gray arrow is a nation. If we say Russia, if we have Russia as an opponent, it cannot be Russia against Equinor. It has to be Russia against other nations or alliances. But for us as an operator, we need to meet the threat from low threat capabilities. That can be local criminals, may be paid by Russia in order to do an attack against our infrastructure, but we need to meet those kind of challenges. But the discussion is, how far will the operator responsibility be, and when will it be a national responsibility? But the most important thing for all of these, the aim is a good dialogue and cooperation between the authorities and the industry. It is added value for all. Showing just this one, because I think it shows us what have changed. This is a bow tie, and in Equinor, we use that bow tie primarily for safety, in order to avoid something to happen and to reduce the consequences. But this one is updated. Now it says safety and security barriers. One of the part is safety, operating within our operating envelope. The other one is malicious intent and capability. So we need now to have operational and technical barriers to detect and reduce the probability of malicious intent and capability, and also to prevent escalation and limit consequences. And my last slide will focus on that one. Now I use the keywords within security: deterrence, detect, identify, protect, delay before an incident, and then respond and recover. I'm not going to talk too much about state and alliance. The most important thing for me is that the state has the power, the mandate to use power. Most nations, that is held by the police. In Norway, we can also give it to the armed forces. They have, of course, a lot of means to detect and identify. The map with the koi and sea koi is just showing intelligence, because it's very important for us. Equinor do not do intelligence. Intelligence is done by the state. But nations and alliances have a lot of tooling when it comes to protect, delay, and respond. But you can see I did not include recovery on this one. Looking into Equinor, we do not have the deterrence part, but we go into recovery. And just to mention some of our possibilities, for detect, identify, we have radar around all of our installations. We use satellite. Satellite in order to observe oil spill on the surface, to detect icebergs in the far north, and also to detect vessels not transmitting on IS. We have active sonars down on the sea bottom. We have a lot of hydrophones, mainly trying to find leakages and vibrations of equipment, but also lately we are told by the authorities to have hydrophones to find mammal life and see if they change their life based upon what we are doing. We have autonomous drones being down there for months and years. We can charge them, we can communicate with them, and we can task them. And also this distributed acoustic sensing, just shown on the land side, but sending a signal through existing fibers, being able to detect any activity close to that cable. When it comes to protect delay, we have the safety zones. It's not a firm barrier, but we are able just to avoid incidents. We have covers in order to protect from sinking devices, something hitting our equipment, and of course also dredging and subsea rock installation in order to bury our equipment. Very importantly, which we didn't focus upon previously, is the data. If this is the same area with the infrastructure data and also combined with survey data, if someone that liked to hurt us would have access to these data, both knowing what is down there and also how is it protected. Is it covered or is it available? So we are restricting that access also. After an incident respond, we build in redundancy, so we are able, hopefully, to get around the problem. We also need to have eyes on the spot as soon as possible. And we have repair capacity. The pipeline repair system in Haugesund, west coast of Norway, it was used to repair the Baltic Connector as well last year. Operational, very good equipment, and also the cable repair ship. But my main message by showing all this, introducing all of these possibilities to detect and to react, is based upon technical integrity. Nothing is based upon security, but we just need to take advantage of the additional security upsides by collecting everything and looking it into a bigger picture. And then I will kind of mess up my presentation by saying, okay, when it comes to strategic communications for Equinor, we may, based upon what I've showed you, say, we will see you. We will be able to identify you. You must take the political and any military consequences. And due to our redundancy and repair capacity, the consequences of an attack will be limited. And then we can say or argue that we also have a deterrence part by saying, attacking us, low effect, high price. Ending with a couple of pictures I'm very fond of. The first one, US aircraft carrier passing one of Equinor's offices in Norway, just showing something about the geopolitical change. And the picture down there with the president from the European Commission, the Prime Minister of Norway, the NATO General Secretary, and the CEO for Equinor, signing on "We are secure together." Thank you.